What's up guys, and welcome to Party and Mamar. So today's good topic gonna be about carrying. So we're gonna give some tips about the carrying and some like basic rules about carrying. So let's start. So first of all, we're gonna divide the carries into two categories. First one is hard carries that work better in late game than early game. We have greedy carries that need a lot of items, and the other category is early carries or normal carries, like they can work better with early stages of the game than the hard carries. So like they need items only for early stage, but late stage the items won't matter that much. So we're gonna start like what makes a carry hard carry or late game carry. So it actually depends on the spells and the stats grow on each level. Like let's take an example. Let's say Medusa. Okay, the Medusa has mana shield and split shot. So split shot will increase if you increase the damage. So the damage will increase, the split damage will increase if you have better items. So at late games it will maximize the damage for split shot and will increase the effectiveness of the hero. And the same goes as for mana shield. Like mana shield will, if the mana pool are increased in Medusa, she will be a lot tankier. So it actually will be more effective late game than any other hero. Like if you take Juggernaut, like the damage won't increase in the ultimate if you bought a lot of items, so it actually doesn't matter. So that's why a hard carry will be more effective. And another thing about hard carries that they need farm, like they are very much farm dependent. Let's get an example like Spectre. Okay, Spectre needs at least 2 supports on lane, like because especially if it's a hard, like if there's 2 against you on the lane, safe lane, and 2 against you. So the hardest part, like in Spectre, if you want to going to play Spectre, the hardest part is getting farm, because you got farm, it's very easy to win the game. But if you didn't, that's going to be very hard, because Spectre is a hard carry that needs a lot of farm and a lot of requirement, a lot of items. And if you don't know how to play safe and farm quickly, that's gonna be hard for you to play a carry, especially a hard one like an early carry or easy. So you gotta know what you are good at. Like if you're good early game and things like that and engaging in fights early, you go for early carries like Juggernaut that can fight early. But if you know how to farm better, like if you're a fast farmer and you know how to play safe and farm quickly, so you go Spectre or Medusa or any other hero that actually farm dependent, not level dependent. Okay, now first of all we're gonna talk about picking a carry. So how to pick a carry. So it actually depends on your team and the enemy team. So if the enemy team already picked a carry, so you go counter him or something like that. And if he didn't pick a carry, you go with a combination with your team. And actually if you combine these two, like if you counter the enemy and got a combo with your team, that's gonna be the greatest pick that you can get for this game, and will give you like a 90% chance of winning or maybe more. So like try to focus on countering the enemies and on comboing with, like getting a combo with your team. Like if you have Rasta and against your Spectre, you can go Orsa or something like that, can kill Spectre very easily, especially early game. So yeah, you gotta know what you have and what you're playing against. Let's say they picked a ganker or something like that, like Huskar or Chaos Knight or Phantom Assassin. Heroes like this love to gank. Okay, they depend on the gank most of the time more than the farm, especially in this new patch, like in Phantom Assassin. So you gotta pick something that can work better in team fight, like Luna, Naga Siren, Outward Destroyer or Outward Devourer, sorry, Shadow Fiend. These carries can work better in team fights. Maybe Spectre, not bad against gankers. Okay, like there's heroes that work as pushers, like Luna, Phantom Lancer, Lone Druid. These heroes work as pushers, so you gotta get an anti-pusher. Like what? Like Medusa. Medusa work great. And Dragon Knight, Alchemist is very good at anti-pushing. Like if they pick a carry that pushes, you gotta go as anti-push. If they pick a ganker, like I said, pick a team fight that can like win team fights very easily, like Luna with the ultimate, or Naga Siren that can save the whole team or bait the other team or something like that with her ultimate. So it's actually very good. So remember these things. Now I don't advise picking a jungler carry because it's not good. It will play in a disadvantage 4 versus 5 against your team, against your enemies, sorry. when there's against you a hard carry, okay, let's say Medusa, okay, you have playing against you Medusa, so you have two options. Either pick an early ganker carry, okay, that can focus on the enemy carry and destroy his farm, or creating an advantage for your team, like Chaos Knight, Husk, or something like that. He can kill Medusa very easily, okay. Or you can focus on countering by picking a good hard carry, a better hard carry. Like if playing against Medusa, go pick anti-mage, okay. Like Medusa can't do anything against anti-mage because she can't control him, she can't get him, like he's an escaper, of course. So Medusa doesn't have a stun or disable that can work on anti-mage. So like these heroes, like if you have against you a hard carry, counter the hard carry or pick a ganker, okay. If you or a stunner, maybe if there's against you an escaper carry, you go a stunner carry or something like that. If you have an like a damage dealer, like I mean a team fight carry, you can go pick a durable hero like Alchemist, Chaos Knight, Dragon Knight, something like that. Life Stealer, like against Luna, very good. Spectre, not bad. Yeah, heroes like this, the durable heroes, work better against the team fight. So you gotta know what you're playing against first and what you have in your team. Like you can get a combo like Disruptor, Outer Devourer, or Shadow Fiend with Darkseer, Sniper with any other hero, like a Disruptor work good with Sniper. Or there's a lot of supports that can work very great with a combination with other heroes, especially carry like Phantom Assassin with Magnus, or Sven with Magnus, Tiny with Magnus. Any hero like that can work great. So you better know what you are playing with, like team heroes, and what you're playing against, the enemy heroes. So remember this thing. Okay, now let's give an example. Let's say you have in your team, like your team picked Disruptor, Enigma, okay, and Invoker mid, Disruptor with you support, Enigma jungle, Darkseer solo offlane. So you're gonna go pick something that work with an OE spells like these. Like you can go pick Sven work very great, like especially with Disruptor, like getting them all together, and Enigma Black Hole works very great. Other heroes like Medusa and like Phantom Assassin, if you bought Fury or something like that, Gyrocopter, something like this, Kunkka, Shadow Fiend, these heroes have worked very great with OE spells like this. Dragon Knight could work too, and this for like playing with your team. But if you have against you like Silencer and other heroes that can ruin these things, so you gotta pick something that can get like BKB, or can like have an immune resistance or something like that. Like if they have a lot of counters for your team, so you'll pick something that can counter your enemy better. Okay, now most of people have a scale like for the best carries, and like from 1 to 10 or something like that. Like I don't like these scales. It actually depends on the enemy and if you're countering him or not, and depend on the team, if you are playing with a combination or not. So let's say like the top carries will be probably Medusa, Anti-Mage, and Spectre. Most likely these are the top carries that can counter most of the carries late game. Like their spells are very great late game, especially Medusa and Spectre. It's very hard to counter them late game. Like even if you have Anti-Mage against Medusa, if Medusa outfarmed Anti-Mage, it's still gonna win the game. So it actually depends on that. And if you have if Medusa have in her team disablers, like a lot of disablers like Bane or something like that can ruin Anti-Mage. Though Anti-Mage now with Scepter, like it's very good against disablers, but still, if they have a lot of disables, it will work against Anti-Mage, and he will be destroyed very easily, even against like a counter, like Anti-Mage counter Medusa. But still, it actually depends, like I said, on the, like if you got a good combo, okay, even if they countered you, it's gonna be okay. So try to work on the combo, and don't depend on the scale, like the best carry or not. Just depend on the combo and the counters, okay? And if you're playing like a low scale hero, okay, let's say like Huskar or Viper or Juggernaut, or heroes like this, or maybe Klings, Outer Devourer, Templar Assassin as a carry, Silencer, these low scale heroes doesn't work very good late game. So you need to finish the game, or you need to try to finish the game very early. Okay, so you don't have to play against a late game carry, like especially if you have against you Medusa or Spectre. It's gonna be very hard to play against if you don't have the damage needed to kill them. So remember this thing. Okay, now let's talk about when should you farm and when should you fight. Okay, it actually depends on your team, like I said, and your enemy team. So if you are playing against a hard carry and you don't have a hard carry or a late game carry, you can go and try to fight more often than and create pressure for the carry you're playing against, so he can't farm, he can't be freely like farming and something like that. So you create a pressure against him, so you give yourself a higher chance of winning by decreasing the farm the enemy have. So remember to pressure if you don't have a late game. But let's say if you have a late game and you want to farm, okay, so you better pick the safest lane to farm, like away from the team fights. Okay, and tell your team, like, don't try to engage too much, don't try to pressure the enemy team, and play safe until I farm and get my items. Like if you're Medusa or Spectre, you need a lot of items, so try to like tell your team to stay away, stay near towers, and only play a defensive measures against the enemy team. If you have a TP and the enemy team is coming against, like if there's a fight going on and you have a TP and you're like farming top lane and the fight is going on bottom lane, should you go fight with your team or not? Well, actually it depends. If you have like a higher chance of winning the fight, so it's better to stay, like if you think that your team gonna win the fight even without you, it's better to stay top and maybe push the lane or something like that. You'll get a lot of gold and experience, and if you got some towers, you can get some gold for your team. But if the fight is going to lose, like if your team is going to lose without you, so it's better to go, like especially like if you're Spectre. Okay, Spectre is very easy to go and fight against the enemy team because you have the ultimate, so you can freely farm, and whenever there is a fight you can just use the ultimate and engage in this fight. But as other carries, like they don't have that much mobility, so they have to TP there. In that case, it actually depends if your team have like if they have Tide Hunter or something like that. If he still has his ultimate, if he didn't use it and you want to go there, it's better to fight. Okay, you must go there and help your team, especially if there's like a potential for winning. But there's no potential at all at winning the fight, like it's a losing fight, and you know it, just go and keep farming. So it actually depends on your team and the enemy team. Like if they're low HP, the enemy team, so it's better to go fight, to TP there. But if they are full HP, like if they still have spells, the enemy team, it's not advised to fight with your team, and it's better to, like say your team, get back and farm safely on the jungle or in the top lane. Like if the fight is going bot lane, you go farm top lane, and like don't engage in fights that are losing, or because it's gonna be a waste of time, especially if you're a needy carry, a late game hard carry. So it's better to go farm. So it actually depends on the situation. Like you need to look at your team if they still have their ultimates, especially if they are ultimate dependent, like Tidehunter, Magnus, or like Shadow Fiend maybe, or other heroes. They depend more on their ultimate, and because a lot of damage give a lot of advantage, especially early game. So as a conclusion, like if you are a semi carry or carry, if you're playing a semi carry or carry and you're playing against a hard carry, remember to finish the game fast. And if you are a hard carry playing against a semi carry or a carry, remember to farm and play safe against the enemy team until you have the items that you need to win the game. And remember always to carry a TP, a town portal scroll, at all times, because you never know when you actually need it. So remember this, and when you reach the level 25, if you're a hard carry and have a full inventory, remember to stop farm and focus more on fights and taking advantage against your enemy. And that's it for this video. Thank you for listening. And now on to the giveaway. So today's giveaway winner is Alpha Beta 1, and you won the item Bracers of the Cavern Luminaire for Earth Shakers, an immortal item for Earth Shaker. Congratulations item. Now for the next giveaway, we will give the item for the comment with the highest amount of replies on it, but there will be 3 rules for this giveaway, like for the amount of replies that we're gonna count. First of all, the commenter, if the commenter replied to his own comment, that won't be count. And second, more than one comment from the same commenter will only be counted as one. Like if I replied to the same comment twice, it will count as one comment. And the third rule, if we figured out like a fake account or something like that, it won't be counted as a comment too. So remember these rules for the comments. Like, don't try to fake accounts or something like that, because if you got caught, you probably won't get the giveaway, and this comment with the highest replies will probably get it. And tell your friends like to come here and participate in this and comment, like maybe reply on your comment, so you get a better chance of winning. And I hope you get lucky and win. So the next giveaway will be for the best support for us. So the best support that will get the most replies on his comment. So thank you for listening and goodbye. For more information, you can visit our website partymmr.com, or you can click on this video or this one. And don't forget to like and subscribe.